This is Just a Few Questions. Just a Few Questions. I'm your host, Marc Sims, live from Chicago. I have Dr. Lee Warren on the line. Dr. Lee Warren is talking about the power latent in man because he wants you to use the Holy Spirit or whatever spirit you think is out there to help you through this next recession. So the recession's coming, right, Dr. Warren?
It's not coming. It's unfolding before you. It's a bunch of you got sales, retail. Do you know how many stores are closing this year? About 9 or 10,000 stores have already closed this year. You know, you got Pier 1 just went out. You got you just got these whole malls. We talk about malls in white areas. We're not talking about malls in African American neighborhoods. We talking about wealthy neighborhoods that's empty. I said, what kind of stores is this? This looks like the hood, man.
There's stores in the Gold Coast and on Michigan Avenue here in Chicago that have closed.
That's it.
So, and retailers having a hard time. We know about that. So, in the first podcast, Dr. Warren, we talked about President Trump, 45, and you believe President Trump is going to win re-election, huh?
President Trump will win re-election. 45 will win. He'll be he'll be acquitted of the impeachment, and he'll be the first president that has been impeached and acquitted and re-elected and faced one of the greatest financial collapses in the history of the world.
I sure hope you're wrong about the second part, the financial collapse. I think President Trump is going to lose. But the whole key on President Trump losing is dependent not on the Democratic candidate. It's the Democratic Party and other activists electrifying the non-white vote. I don't want to sound racist, people who listen to this podcast, but I think Clinton and definitely President Obama, they went with what's the term? A plurality of the white vote, the European American vote. But the lion's share, the biggest share of the people of color vote. The people of color vote were the largest votes that Barack Obama won. No matter who is the Democratic candidate, they have to electrify, energize the people of color vote. And I'm not talking just about black folks. I'm talking about people from Asia, people from other parts of the world who live here. You know, half the country almost is non-white now. I don't know about the voting age population, but the non-whites have to come out and vote for the Democratic candidate to defeat Donald Trump. What do you think, Dr.
That's very true. The problem is that whether we like it, whether you hate him or you love him, President Trump, he has hired more people of color in the history of this country. More blacks, more Hispanics, Asians, and everybody has been hired as a result of him going into debt and blowing the economy up than ever before. So you're not going to get that strong Democratic vote that you have back in the 50s and 60s. Matter of fact, it's not the same Democratic Party. I mean, you got more socialists and communists running around, AOC and there's other people running around, and Bernie talking about giving away free stuff. I don't think that's going to hold very well. And in fact, the finances for the Democratic Party is going to be real slim this time because a lot of the people with money are not going to be able to finance because of the type of taxes that he's talking about placing on the wealthy. So I know that ain't going to work.
Wait. Dr. Warren, you don't think Bernie Sanders is going to defeat Donald Trump, President Trump?
No, there's no way possible because of the taxes he's talking about. His program that he's talking about implementing, first of all, you just look at the medical health situation. To get first of all, to get top insurance in this country, just for for two retired, I paid over $1,000 just for health insurance. I mean, that's a hell of a lot. That took a lot out of discretionary income. So you take the average person on the bottom that's barely getting by, the type of insurance he's getting is very rational. I mean, I had a little lightweight stroke. I'm gonna give you an example. And I had to take PT. They told me I had unlimited amount of PT. Unlimited. I can go whatever. But they found out that people didn't have the program that me and my wife had. And she was retired from Northwestern. They got limited weight. You know, as Lenny was talking about, the person got hit in the car. He was only given 34 treatments, something like he had a limited amount of treatment. They rashed the amount of PT this guy. This guy was really bashed up. So I'm saying that to implement what he's talking about implementing, he's got to tax the wealthy or those that are semi-wealthy, 200,000 or 300,000 more, because 50% of the people, less than almost 50% of the people don't pay taxes. 50% of the people in this country pay the taxes, but the other 50% don't carry their weight. They can't carry it because of low wage.
So, Dr. Warren, how come President Bernie Sanders can't tax the rich corporations?
Well, he can. But the problem is, how the lobbyists go and the type of money that they throwing around. So he just won't be able to wheel that in Congress, etc.
Okay, so let me just chime in. So maybe the Democrats have to bring in Michael Bloomberg, a billionaire, a moderate, to come in and win that Democratic primary.
That may be a possibility. That could be a real good challenge for him. I think it'll be a better challenge than the candidates that they've already had up there.
So why is most Americans, Dr. Warren, why are so many Americans are scared of socialism?
Well, socialism, first of all, most people have not lived in a socialism system. I went to Germany and stayed there some time, and that means you get a lot of benefits paid by taxpayers. And what that means is, to give you an example, let us go to Finland or some of the Scandinavian countries. They basically are homogeneous. That means they're basically mostly all white, very few people of color there. So as a result, the taxes there, to get the benefits that they get, they're about like 65, running around 60% of income tax. Can you imagine paying 60% of your income tax or 60 for taxes?
No, most Americans wouldn't do it. No, most Americans wouldn't do it. No, I get that. So you think Trump's gonna win? Okay, let me talk about this now. Trump wins, whoever wins, you're gonna have a recession either this year, either 2020, 2021. It's inevitable. We 2 years behind this. We should have got a recession 2 years ago.
It'd be 21 or 22.
Yeah, but we should have had a recession 2 years ago. It's going to happen, right? We know that. But the point is that how is a new president going, or this government or this country is going to equalize or try to tame this income inequality? This income inequality is bad, and I'm surprised we don't have riots yet, like they have in France.
I keep telling it, in this next downturn, they're going to take it to the streets. I tell people, so what's going to happen? I said, they're going to take it to the streets. I said, you don't understand. I lived through the Martin Luther King riots in 1968 when they destroyed the West Side there. I don't know if it gets as bad as that. I mean, you can have people just rule day in, day and night, just marching to meet just the basics for living expenses. Living expenses is going to be the major cost for this whole country being in uproar. Very few people are being able to maintain their standard of living, because the dollar is falling in value. In other words, everything is going up except for wages.
They claim wages going up, but that's a bunch of it's a crock of crap. They you know how they say figures don't lie, but liars figure. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, liars figure.
And they're playing games with the numbers, because I think I've talked to people, and they don't really realize the income inequality. Because anybody come to Chicago, you go on one side of town, or here's a perfect example. WBZ had I should put this up on the YouTube at some point. WBZ, the local NPR station, had a great graphic about Chicago 50 years ago in the 70s or something. And now, most of the middle class is gone as we once knew it. You got a few wealthy people living near the North Shore or on the lake, near the lakefront, and everybody else is paycheck to paycheck. And let's not talk about the black neighborhoods. They are literally, not all of them, but most of them are falling apart, and the black South suburbs ain't that much better.
That's right.
And most people haven't seen the income inequality here in the city of Chicago and in the suburbs.
That's correct.
So I'm saying, do America's people understand how bad it really is for most of the country?
No, I don't think they do, because if they look at the homeless, the people out in California, Frisco, L.A., I mean, the homeless is going off the chain. I mean, it's almost epidemic. It's almost dangerous in terms of health hazard. I mean, people are putting up on Frisco on the street. I mean, it's just a total breakdown because the cost of living and a livable job are not available, not unless you're in the high-tech, highly trained field. And I tell black people, I said, listen, they said, what's going to happen to the black people? I said, it's done. It's over with. They said, what you mean? I said, do you know how the type of technical information you got to have? You either got to have a skill, a licensed skill, a plumber, electrician, air conditioner, heat band, or something. I mean, you just ain't going to be walking around and talk about you going to sweep the floor. That's all done.
Yeah, they even at Walmart they had the automatic robot sweepers and moppers. The machine come by and sweep and mop the floor. And Amazon already has robots. The robots are nothing new. It's just more of them. And people like me, I always kid about folks like me who don't have education, don't have a skill, and have a bad attitude. Ain't nothing out here for us.
Well, that's the problem with the average black man. I go in the stores. We go in the stores all over, and we see what's all these black women. I said, where's the men at? Where are these black young men? I mean, when I was their age, 18, 19, 20, I had these little part-time jobs. I was working down at like Marshall Fields, all the stores up and down State Street and stuff. They don't hire them. And then those that do, I said, basically what you've done is that we've been outmoded, like I said, because what few jobs are left, the illegals, Hispanics have got, and then after that, they are finding out now they're coming into a crunch because a lot of those jobs are being robotized and done away or shipped overseas. So, hey, welcome to the brand new America where there won't be any work. The only solution is I tell people that what they're going to do is guarantee you, they'll give you a stipend or something like $15,000 to $20,000 a year to live on, or just say it's 20. As I tell people I was going to show at the railroad, they were saying, "Well, what about guaranteed income?" I said, "Well, what do you mean guaranteed? You mean guaranteed income or guaranteed livable income? Now, you're not going to livable income is about $45,000 on the low end." And I said, well, they're not going to pay you $45,000 for setting up. Now, they probably give you 20, but what's 20? That's a poverty type thing. I mean, you can't live on $20,000 here in Chicago unless you live with your mama or your girlfriend, y'all living together.
No, we all gonna have to live together. That's for sure. It'd be 20 folks in one house to make it. Now, let me wrap this out. Let me wrap this up, and then I'll bring you back in a month or 3 weeks or so. We can talk about it again. So, in retrospect or in review, the recession is coming, and what should we do, Dr. Warren?
Well, the first thing I would tell people to do, one of the basic things now, is you probably can't pay down. They tell people to pay down debt. Well, most people can't pay down debt. What's the next best thing to do? Listen, start hoarding food, canned food, best organic food that you can start putting it away, because at least you can have some food stored up. You got to say 50 or 100 cans. That's enough to, it's not enough to last a long time, but it's enough to save your unemployment benefits, not to spend so much on food and stuff like that, and give you some leeway to try to hustle, try to find another job or whatever. Because it's going to be somewhat very difficult, because it's very hard to start a business, not unless you're going to do something online. So, so you're going to have to really look for some divine guidance and instruction in this whole process.
And there's people who believe in divine guidance. They believe in the Holy Spirit. They believe in the Force, like Star Wars. So you believe folks need to tap into the Force or the power latent in man or something, right?
That power that allows them to breathe, that has given them dreams and already that they have ignored or or seen in action, but cannot really tap into. And by praying and asking for divine guidance, that's one of the ways it's going to get you through this situation. And you're going to have the crime going to go off the chain. And we're talking about in wealthy neighborhoods. We're talking about, like, you can see what's happening now.
It's going on now in the Gold Coast, downtown in River North.
The Gold Coast now. So there's no pickets in the hood no more. What you going to pick somebody from a bus car? Get real.
It's been a pleasure, Dr. Warren. We're going to talk to you soon, and we got to tap into that power latent in man. Thanks, Dr. Lee Warren.
Take care of you. Everybody be blessed.